Hey guys, it's Mahel here, and in this video I'm going to be giving you my ultimate Freshers Week 2020 tips and advice. But before we get into the video, if you're new here or if you haven't subscribed already, make sure to click the subscribe button and click the bell to turn all post notifications on so you don't miss out on a single video as soon as it goes live. Without further ado, let's get into the video. This video will essentially be summarizing everything you need to know for Freshers Week 2020. However, if you want to see more in-depth videos covering certain topics regarding Freshers Week, then I've made a series of videos which you can check out by clicking the info card in this corner, and I would highly advise that you check those out. Freshers 2020 is going to be different to any Freshers Week we've had so far. Clubs are closed, social distancing is a must, and we're in the middle of a pandemic. If you've heard stories about Freshers flu before, just imagine having to deal with potentially both Freshers flu and coronavirus. However, I'm here to give you my advice on how you can have fun during Freshers Week and stay safe whilst doing so. Starting off the video with tip number 1, join as many Facebook groups and group chats as you can that relate to things such as your accommodation, your course, your university and more. Due to the pandemic, it's not going to be as easy as going out there and talking to every person that you can. You're going to have to bear social distancing and social bubbles in mind, and universities this year are going to be clamping down on large gatherings and house parties, so you don't even have the opportunity of talking to people at house parties, as if you're found by the university of hosting a party or attending one, there are going to be penalties such as fines, expulsion or suspension. Therefore, it's in your interest to get to know as many people as you can in a safe manner, and I believe that Facebook groups and group chats are the best way of doing so. To give you an example, I myself am in a group for my accommodation, and this has already helped me find a couple of my flatmates and get to know them a little before meeting them in person in just a couple of weeks. My second piece of advice is to save as much money as you can between now and Freshers Week. This is because Freshers Week can be very costly due to initial costs such as signing up for a gym membership, signing up for a bus pass, going to socials, sign up to sports and societies, going for meals with your flatmates or course mates, and more. In fact, Freshers Week can be so costly that you can expect to spend anywhere between £100 and £300 in Freshers alone, and this can be one of the most costly weeks of your whole university experience. You might be thinking this is a lot of money and be contemplating whether or not it's worth spending this money. And I would say absolutely, as Freshers Week is going to be one of your only opportunities to get to know people as naturally and easily as possible. My third piece of advice is to not go home at all until the first month of uni is over, so not until roughly the start of November. It might be tempting to go home every weekend, and I've seen some people do this, but don't be that person, as not only will this stop you from settling into university, it can also stop you from overcoming homesickness. I even saw people going home right after Freshers Week, literally in the weekend of where Freshers Week ends, and I would not advise this at all, because although it's officially Freshers Week, in fact it's actually Freshers Month, and during the first month of university you're going to be getting to know new people and forming friendship groups. So if you're going home every single weekend, and especially in the first weekend after Freshers Week is over, you're going to be preventing yourself from getting out there and meeting new people. My fourth piece of advice is to invest in both a university sports membership and a bus pass. I'm sure you're beginning to understand that the first semester of university is more costly than any other semester, but trust me when I say this, both a university sports pass and a bus pass are worth it. The reason I advise a university sports membership versus a local gym membership is because this enables you to use the university's facilities and participate in the university's sports, and universities tend to have a lot of sports on offer such as korfball, volleyball, netball, basketball, football and so many more, even sports that you've never heard of before. For example, before coming to university, I didn't even know what korfball was, but when I came, I found out what it was. All of the sports on offer and the gym can keep you active, both physically and mentally, and trust me, you want to keep yourself active both physically and mentally, as not only do you want to look good, you want to feel good. And exercising actually releases endorphins, which basically makes you happier in very simple terms. And when you're trying to overcome homesickness and you're just missing home and feeling down, having a sports membership can help you overcome those issues. Not only this, by having a sports membership at your university, you're likely to meet other people from your university, including freshers, but not limited to freshers. You can meet people in second year, third year, and further. And this can help you actually, because let's say for example, you happen to come across someone in second year studying the same course as you, then you can just simply ask them for advice as they'll have done what you're doing now last year. You might be wondering whether it's worth bringing a car to university. I would say it isn't. Not only do student areas tend to have high crime rates, but you also have to consider how expensive it is to maintain a car at university, as there are costs such as fuel, insurance, maintenance, parking permits and more. Instead, I advise that you get a bus pass as soon as the year begins, as there are often limited time deals that grant you unlimited bus travel for one price. For example, in Nottingham, you can get a student bus pass for only £259, and this grants you access to all Nottingham buses that are run by NCT, which is basically the main provider of buses in Nottingham anyways. And this is just simply amazing because the buses run by NCT cover a lot of routes, meaning that it really is unnecessary to bring a car, because you're going to be spending so much on maintaining a car that you might as well just instead spend £259 on a bus pass, as this will take you anywhere you need to go without the worry of insurance, maintenance, fuel and more. My fifth and final piece of advice is to relax. You don't want to overdo it in the first week, as you have a whole year ahead of you, and trust me, you will not feel great for the rest of the year if you go all out in the first week. Take some time to relax. You don't need to participate in every single event out there in freshers. You can participate as much as you want to, or as little as you want to. Just don't be that person that isolates themselves from day one. Join a couple of sports and societies. Hit up some bars and restaurants with your flatmates and get to grips with your course. Just don't overdo it. Don't be afraid to participate in things on your own. Most people are attending university without knowing anyone else, so it's okay to go to something by yourself. Don't be afraid to try something new. You might be terrible at it, but remember, we're here for a good time, not a long one. And most importantly, don't be pressured by other people into doing things that you don't want to do. Remember, there are plenty of sports and societies out there, so if one sport or society is making you do an initiation, which is usually banned by universities by the way, don't do it if you don't want to do it, and go and join another sport or society. Chances are that sport or society isn't for you to begin with, and there are plenty of other welcoming sports and societies out there that won't make you do horrible things just because you're a fresher. That is going to be it for the video, guys and girls. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I hope it has been informative. If you have any questions regarding Freshers Week 2020, then make sure to leave a comment below and let me know what you want to know. I will be happy to answer your questions, as I'm now going into third year, so I've seen it in first year and second year, so I will know enough to answer your questions. Let me know in the comments below as well what other videos you'd like to see from me in the future, as there are roughly 2 weeks until university starts. So after this, what do you want to see from me before university starts and when university starts? I know that when university starts there will be uni vlogs again, but especially in the next 2 weeks, what do you want to see from me? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to follow me on my social media profiles. That's at Mihal Khan on Instagram, TikTok and Snapchat, at MihalX on Twitter, and official Mihal Khan on Facebook. Make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already as well. I have been Mihal, telling you my advice on Freshers Week 2020, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.